to show Yana.
I think we on, my brother.
We live. We live.
We are live. Yet again, another time, another moment, another season.
Episode 15.
Another month. It's 15? Wow, that's crazy.
We almost
Well, everybody, welcome to our 15th episode of Mannn, Me Too. We are back and we are live. For anybody who may log on, we want you all to share this show. We are Mannn, Me Too. I am Scooter Lamont, and I got my brother on the line. Who are you?
I'm Carl.
Carl D. And we've been doing this thing for a minute now. And it's crazy, but it feels good. So, it's crazy. Like I sent you the clip of Kev on stage, and he was talking about what it takes to be consistent and really grow in this podcast thing. And it's just crazy how, we started, in the middle of last year, and we got some episodes done, and we're still doing this thing. So
right.
I'm excited about, the stuff that's going to come, and I'm excited about what we have done thus far. I feel like we've had some really, really good topics that we've talked about over this last year, and so I'm excited. So everybody, welcome to Mannn. Me Too.
I just want to say something about that clip you said. Most people probably would have been discouraged by that, but I feel like I was encouraged because it lets me know that we ain't just out here in this. People look at the numbers and stuff, but at some point it'll happen.
Yeah, and the thing is, you can't get caught up on just the numbers because you will get discouraged, and that's for anybody that's doing any type of whether you're selling music, whether you whatever you're promoting. You can't just look at the numbers all the time and stay focused on that, because sometimes that will discourage you. But you got to know that you got to stay consistent, and I feel like the more that we as people stay consistent at what we're doing, the more traction it'll get eventually. It's like we kind of want the microwave thing to happen in life, not even just us with this show, but just in general. Everybody they see the biggest names in Hollywood and, in Atlanta and around the world. You see those and you just kind of want what they're doing, but you don't know what it took to get to that place. You didn't see the
preparation.
Yes, sir. And so, I say, if you're thinking about starting a podcast, if you do music, if you like Carl D over there, sell vinyl, and
just do it, y'all. Don't overthink it. Just do it.
Just do it. Because, and you know what? One of the pastors that I was, that I do praise and worship at this church, Ryan Neal at Relationship Church, he was talking about that a couple weeks ago, about how if we want to do something in life or whatever it is, you have to just take your mind out of it. Because when you take your mind out of it and just do it, then it gets done. But when you put your mind into it, you make up excuses. You come up with reasons why, it couldn't happen or it didn't happen. And, we just make excuses. And so, like Carl said, just do it.
Be like Nike.
I mean, it ain't easy, but hey, you got to do it. We promote every episode, that we want you all to send in topics and stuff like that. And sometimes it's a challenge coming up with, with topics, because we're not just a show that talk about
pop culture,
the pop culture and the latest news. Yeah. And, sometimes we touch on things of those sorts, but we're merely just a podcast and a show that want to uplift and build men and other people around the community. And so a lot of times it's harder, especially for men, since we already don't talk about what's going on. Sometimes it can be a little challenge to figure out what do people want to hear about? What do we even want to talk about,
Right.
But I thank God that we made it to see the 15th show. So welcome, everybody. Welcome to Mannn, Me Too. Man, you going through some stuff, man? Me too. You having issues on your job? Guess what? Some of us too. Man, me too. And so that's what this show is geared towards. So quickly, do me a favor, guys. We want you all to share this show right now. Share it with somebody that maybe need to hear about some things that they don't even talk about. Whether it's your brother, your cousin, your nephew, your uncle, your daddy, share this show with them. Let them know that we are on live. We're here, and we'll be on. We're on Facebook and YouTube as well. So share this. Send them the link. Any of those things. Let them know that we are live right now. And this is not just a conversation between me and Carl, but we want to have open up the dialogue and have a conversation with everybody.
We want some interaction.
Yeah, we want some interaction. So that's what we are here to do tonight. We have a topic at hand, and we're going to get into it shortly. But we want you, if you all have any topics, any questions, any comments, any concerns, hey, if you want to just encourage us and say, hey, guys, keep going, you all can email us at Mannn with 3 N's, MANNN, me too, METOO, @gmail.com. Make sure you all email us at that. Let us know if you all have any questions that you may want to be answered, any topics that you all want us to touch on, or any of those things. Email us at mannme2@gmail.com. So again, we want to say welcome to our show. We are out to have a platform where men can just speak on the issues that we don't normally talk about. And we want to shatter the silence of men and start the community of healing, love, and laughter. We sometimes we have some deep, some rough topics, but we like to laugh too. We like to have fun. We want to make sure we're balanced. But make sure that you all just do those things with us. Make sure you all interact with us. Also, go to YouTube. You can, I don't know if you need to stop right now, but go to YouTube and go to our YouTube page. It's Mannn with 3 N's. Make sure you type all 3 of those N's in. Mannn with 3 N's, me too. And you'll see all of our shows, our past shows. You may want to send those to someone. You may want to listen to them yourself, see what the topics are. We have some good conversations. And like I said, it's not just between me and Carl, but we have it with the entire world and everyone who logs on. So make sure you go to YouTube, type in Mannn with 3 N's, Mannn me too, and hit the notification. Smash that notification bell. We want to build our the people who follow us. We want to make sure that it grows, and the more that you all go to it, like it, make sure you hit that notification bell and hit all. That's important. That way, anytime we put up any content, anytime we put up anything, any videos, any merchandise, any of those things, you will get a notification that we have something for you. We have something that we want you to engage in with us. So if you all can do that,
we will find you. You don't have to find us.
That's right. We'll get to you before you realize. You hear that notification, be like, man, me too is on. So, that's what we want you all to do. Go to our YouTube page and make sure you subscribe to us. That's what we want you to do.
That's right.
Woo, bro, how has your day been?
Long. You know what? I said last week felt like a real short week, and I think I spoke real soon, because this week feel like it's been
long,
stretched. Yeah.
Guess what, man? Me too. No, today has. You know what? Yesterday was actually longer for me. It seemed like it was longer than today, but today was kind of a long day as well, and But I thank God for bringing me through it. I'm actually not finished. I have some stuff after we get done, but God is good.
That's right.
And so, So I guess guys.
But tomorrow's Friday, so that's always a positive.
You know what? Guess what? Tomorrow is Friday, and guess what, guys? My birthday is Sunday, and I'm excited about it. I'm celebrating all weekend. I'm doing something, but it'll be my birthday. My birthday is March 7th, and I'm getting older, guys. I'm turning 34 years old.
You're still a young man.
I'm getting old. You know, I was looking at talking to some of my friends the other day. I was like, guys, we're not kids no more. Like, you know, like we can't even be. I don't know if we consider youth anymore. Like, you know,
youth is a mindset, Scooter. Okay, man.
I'm glad you said that.
That ain't what that knee be
Thank
saying.
you for encouraging me in that area. No, but seriously, like, you know, just as a man realizing that you're getting older, things are changing. I know you still got your head full of hair over there, but my hair is not as thick as it used to be, you know. So I'm at the point where I'm doing everything with it while I got it. You know, I wish I would have started a little younger, but hey, it is what it is. My father, he's had a ponytail all his life, and so he's still, you know, still trying to comb it over and.
Hey, you man, know. don't do your pops like that, man.
Hey, I love him, but I want to do what I can with it. But it made me realize that sometimes you don't even pay attention to those things almost till it's too late. And so, you know, now I'm at the point where the crown of my head is not as thick as it used to be. You know, the front is not as thick as it, you know. So, but hey, it's a part of life. And I'm gonna deal with it as it goes, but I'm getting older. But I thank God because some people are not making it to that age, or some, you know what I'm saying.
And you can always get you a unit.
Used to telling people that I'm 32, so 33. See, don't even know how old I am. But you know, you said what?
Scooter? You can always get you a unit, man.
Hey, you know what? At this point in life, the women been fooling us for years.
Exactly. Payback.
We getting us. See, you got
you be like,
her. Take it off and just sit on the dresser.
Let me take this off.
Look, I heard this comedian said, I wanted to rub my wife's hair, but it was on the nightstand. And so, oh man. So now we get a chance to pay that back. So guys, welcome again. We're getting ready to go into our Would You Rather segment. We ask a few Would You Rather questions, and we want you all to engage in with us. So if you have an answer, we want you all to type those in the chat section, and we'll read them out if we see them. So make sure that you all engage with us. How it normally works, I normally ask the questions, and Carl will give his answers and maybe an explanation why, and then I will give mine. And if there's any in the chat, we'll kind of read those. But this is our Would You Rather segment. We won't be long, but hey, let's get right into it. You ready, my brother?
Yes, sir.
So, would you rather win the lottery or live twice as long?
How much lottery are we talking?
$1 million.
Twice as long. Easy.
Ooh.
I could make $1 million in that twice as long life I got. Man, we talking some billion. We talking some billions. Okay.
Let's say $1 billion. $1 billion or live twice as long.
I still think I would go twice as long.
So you really want to be on this earth longer than, say, you make it to 95, 96. You want to be here a whole nother almost 100 years?
Well, okay, here's the thing. Do I get to still see what's happening on Earth when I'm gone? Or is it just like, I'm out of here?
You got to ask.
That's what I'm saying. It's still it's too much. Like, if I could still peek down and be like, oh, they didn't did that. They didn't did that. Then maybe. But I just want to see what's happening sometimes, you know?
I get it. Whew. So what you going with, live twice as long?
Live twice as long.
Okay. For me, I'm glad you want to live twice as long, but I will take the money. My money can live twice as long. I can live through the money because I can. What we should do as men, not just leave our children or our family money, but show them ways to invest it, and I would invest as well, but show them to keep that generational wealth going. So if I came into $1 billion, and even with the money I have now, I plan to I plan to make sure that not only I have something to leave for other people, but teach them what to do with it. Because if you just leave it to, your kids and you never really taught them how to manage money or how to, what to do to make sure that money continues to grow, they're going to just spend it. They're going to not really think about it, and that money's going to be gone, so.
Yeah, I saw a clip of someone talking about how their dad was a entrepreneur, or their granddad was like an entrepreneur, and he knew how to like basically grow his money, and
Mm-hmm.
he left money to his kids, but he didn't teach them the principles on how to
See?
make that money live longer than he does. So the son of the granddad, which I think was the girl's father, ended up dying like broke in a trailer home, but he was left a lot of money. So yeah,
Okay.
you gotta be careful not to just pass down money and don't teach how to make your money make money.
That's right.
'Cause
That's right. Make your money make money.
so
Yeah, I would definitely take the money. I see Ebony put, I'm living longer. My wife put, live long and broke or something like that. Dexter put live
live
longer.
longer. Yep. But wait,
Interesting.
Ebony changed hers. Look,
Oh, did she?
You see that first one?
Make the millions. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. Yeah, I would definitely take the money because, like I said, I mean, I guess that's what people should want to do anyway. Is make sure they leave some generational wealth that can.
Yeah, but you didn't say we was gonna live longer and broke though. So I mean, I could still live longer and eventually build that.
But really, you gonna want to do that at 160 years old? You try
I'm
to
hurt. I
yeah.
can sell secrets on how I got this old, bro. I'm sure somebody about it, even if it's fake.
I guess that could create that generational wealth to leave to them anyway.
I have a
Like,
whole master class on how you live longer.
that's hilarious.
You know,
So yeah,
everybody selling master classes these days. So you know,
you
if I
show
want
right.
if I
Everybody
want
got a master
60 out
class.
here,
Everybody teaching something.
yeah.
Everybody trying to tell what they know. You show right.
If I want 60, listen, I'm gonna be on that Zoom teaching you how to get to what I can't guarantee it's gonna work for you, but
Speaking of classes, I don't know what these people are doing on OnlyFans. I know all of them are not sexual content. Some people are actually using them as like for seminars and webinars and stuff like
no
that.
way.
Yes, and that's what that site actually started out as. Like, it was stuff like that. If like you all do graphics and stuff like that for shirts, you all would get on there and you would have people who sew into you every month with a fee, and you just you would use content and talk about
Wait,
whatever it
that's
is.
what it started as?
That's what it started as, and
No
then
way.
it turned sexual later on. But these
And
people
it
are
blew
really
up.
making money on OnlyFans, and it's
So
interesting to me.
OnlyFans didn't blow up until people started getting on there and stripping and all that stuff.
But it's crazy because, well, I don't know because I've never been on there at all. But I've heard people say like, oh, they only show like their feet, or they'll be on there cooking, or like it's interesting. Like I don't understand the logic for real behind people feeling like, oh, well, I'm going to give you money every month just for you to do the stuff that I don't know. I don't know. Maybe people feel like they're getting an exclusive drawing into just one person doing something. So I don't know, but it's interesting to me.
It says it's been around since 2016. I didn't hear about it until.
That's what I'm saying. Like you said, it didn't blow up until people started doing something they shouldn't be doing.
That's
But
crazy.
hey,
Because the way you just explained it is a brilliant concept.
Yeah, it is. It is. Because if I can have supporters or what do you call them? What's the word I'm looking for?
Subscribers,
but what's the other word? Patreon.
Oh yeah.
You people to pay me $5 a month, to be on there. I can teach voice lessons. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
right.
They can get voice lessons for that $5. Like, it's a great concept.
Right.
But of course, people take it and they go left with it.
And then they blow up.
Then it blows up.
Y'all just nasty out here. That's the problem, man.
Yeah, so that's I don't even know how we got to that conversation. Hey, it is that is what's going on in the world.
Oh, that's a good comment right here. See that? I want to see my great grandchildren. That's right. See them spending my money.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, you ready for the next question?
Yes, sir.
This should be interesting. Considering what you do. Would you rather have to make all your own clothes, or would you rather grow all your own food, or have to grow all your own food?
Well, I can say this: growing your own food is wait. What are we talking about? Make my own clothes.
You got to make all your own clothes, your own
talking
coats,
about like
own hats, own underwear, own socks.
We talking about sewing it together and all that?
Yes, sir.
Dang.
You have to sew and make all your own clothes, or you have to grow all your own food.
I grow my own food because I'll be out here one sleeve longer than the other.
Carl, you measure everything else.
You get tired after a while. You be like, listen, just don't cut that thing. And you gotta You seen the episode of Cosby's where
I was just thinking about that.
Theo got that little what was it called? Some Cartran. What was it called?
Yeah.
Gordon Cartran. That shirt, that boy sleeve.
He let his sister make his shirt. It definitely wasn't what it looked like, or what it was supposed to look like.
That's how my kids would be going to school, bro. Boy, put that shirt on. Boy, I ain't had time to finish.
Oh man, that is interesting. That's hilarious there. Right. Your kids would definitely get talked about if things wasn't. What you got on?
One leg longer than other. Right. I gotta make.
Like, this is homemade. This is homegrown.
I grow my own food.
Literally designed by David.
Yeah. Look at that. Sewing sounds difficult. That's right. That's
you gotta grow your own food.
Poking myself. Man,
I mean, if you want some chips, you gotta go get your own potato after growing it, cut it up, fry it yourself, and hope that it gets to the point of a chip.
Man, that sounds way easier than trying to sew something.
You want some nachos? Think about all the stuff that we eat.
You gotta ground like tortilla. I mean, like corn to get chips, or I don't know. Listen. I'll take my chances with that. Then sewing. What you going with?
Again, I'm on the other end. I would rather sew all of my own clothes.
So let me say this. If I had to grow my own food, a byproduct of that would be I probably would be healthier in two ways, because I got to exercise because I'm digging ditches, and then I know what I'm eating. It ain't that processed food you get out the store. So I go with that.
But if you can sew your own clothes, you become a master at it, and you can sell them as well.
Yeah, but I have no desire.
But I will agree with you, being healthier and knowing exactly what's going on in your body but that's still a lot of work considering all the stuff that we eat now and, we know of now. Like, you have to make your own hot dogs. Like, I'm not doing that.
Well, it's some stuff you just won't eat. Listen. Like, I probably wouldn't eat meat no more if I gotta.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't eat meat no more because if I had to actually kill it,
I know. I'll be.
If I gotta breed it and nope, not gonna do it.
If I gotta, I heard a guy talk. I went to school with a guy. He was talking about he lived on a farm and he was talking about how they like chop up cows. Like they put them in the back and take them to the butcher. And the butcher shoot a thing through his forehead. Like, bro, if I got to do that, I'm not eating hamburgers.
Nope.
You can keep your steaks. Okay?
Not gonna happen.
Right.
I will definitely be a vegetarian. Which will probably push me to eating only vegetables for real.
Right.
Hey guys, while we're in the middle of this, we want you to stop right now and share this show. Make sure that you share with those loved ones you have. Share it with your boyfriend, your uncle, your nephew, your niece, and share it with her too.
Share it with her too.
Be looking for a man to come in and find her, and she needs to know some things about us. So yeah, share it with them right now. All right, back to the Would You Rather game.
Scooter,
so for me, what did I say I would do? Oh, I would definitely sew my own clothes.
I think you outnumbered, man. Everybody saying food out here, man.
Dexter said, call me the butcher.
Call me the butcher.
I ain't doing it.
Hey, if Dexter top it up for me and I ain't gotta see it, hey, maybe.
My mother told me, she was like, you should go to a slaughterhouse. I said, if I did, I'd be skinny because I'm not gonna eat it. If I see it get killed, I'm not gonna eat. My father traumatized me years ago, many years ago when I was younger. He goes fishing to this day. He loves fishing, and he probably went fishing today. But one day he pulled out all the babies and all the guts and dissected it in front of me. To this day, I have not eaten a piece of fish that he caught. Just because I know where it came from. I don't know why. I don't know. I already know that it's a mind thing. But
right. If you eat fish,
because I eat fish, I would eat fish from.
At least you know his fresh though. You know he got the fresh stuff.
But I know where it came from.
That's even better, Scooter.
My coworker brought me like last year sometime, brought some ham in from a pig that she slaughtered. I couldn't eat it. I could not eat it. Because I knew where it came from. Like, it's a mind thing. I know it is.
Yeah. That's probably the best food you can eat, Scooter. Instead of
you're probably right. It's probably way healthier than this processed stuff that we eat and stuff. But
right.
It's a mind thing. Pray for me, my brother, because I can't do it. I don't know how I would have lasted back in Jesus in them time when they would just fry. Nah, they wouldn't even fry, just cooking the fish. Oh no, I'm not eating that. Who cleaned it? Is that still scales on that fish? Oh no, no, ain't gonna happen, brother.
Yeah, I don't know, Scooter. Now that I'm thinking about it, I probably would be out here chopping some chickens and cows.
I guess after a while you probably get used to it. That's probably how they can do it. But initially, I know I wouldn't be able to do it. I remember my first time cutting up a whole chicken. I cut the wings off and the legs, and I couldn't do nothing else. I was like, "Oh no, this is absolutely nasty."
I don't even like touching chicken breasts right now, like this. But listen, I do it. I just put some chicken thighs on the grill this weekend.
And when I eat meat, it has to be crispy. Like if it's any it'll make me feel like I'm eating a piece of skin or human, or I can't do it.
Nah. You think
like
you
my wife packed some chicken the other day with some fried chicken in my lunch. and I warmed it up in the microwave. You know, when you warm it up in the microwave, the
it ain't
skin
gonna be
gets soggy and soft. It was so hard for me to eat it because I just felt like this tastes like a human. Like I'm eating somebody's skin.
You're overthinking it, Scooter. Just
So,
eat it,
hey, I know, I definitely understand that it's in my mind. That's why I love the air fryer. I don't know if you all have one, but the air fryer is amazing. And I love it because I like my meat inside juicy, but I love the outside to be crispy, whether it's steak, chicken, whatever else we put in. We put everything in the air fryer. My father cooks ribs in the air fryer. They be so good. So, but I like the fact that it cooks crispy on the outside and it still be juicy on the inside. And so it allows me to eat it without feeling weird. So, yeah.
I'm gonna bring you some soggy chicken one day.
I'm not gonna eat it. I'll go back to being a vegetarian. All right, let's move on. Let's move on. This is the last would you rather question. And we want you all to continue answering in the chat as well. We appreciate you all for being on and hanging on with us. And we're getting ready to get into our topic for tonight as well. But this last would you rather question. Would you rather never mentally age or never physically age?
So, okay. Is that like you never mentally age from birth?
Well, I guess once you become an adult, you never like age where, you know, some people start to lose their memory, you know, go through Alzheimer's disease and stuff like that. You'll never age, but you'll always be in your right mind or you'll always be in your right physical body, body.
Nah, I would rather age mentally than I'm confused. Hold on. Never
Ooh.
never age physically
Mentally or never age physically.
no, I would rather age mentally over.
Mm.
So what does not aging physically mean? Like you just stay looking young?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll look old and be smart or wise or whatever aging
But
mentally.
physically also mean no pain, not as much pain, and the older you get, the more pain sometimes you have, and you can't just fall down like you did when you was 12.
Yeah,
You
but
know,
if you don't age mentally, that means you're not growing like mentally. Like you
good
can't
point.
you can't grasp like new concepts or learn new things or
I mean,
like
you can grasp those, but you never age to the point where it's like, what was I talking about? Like,
yeah, I would rather be sharp up here than look sharp.
interesting.
I feel like I could do more with this than looking good. I mean, unless I went into a different industry, but I don't plan on doing that anytime soon. So I'm gonna go.
You know what? I didn't think about this question when I wrote it down. So for me, I would rather, I guess, physically too. Although pain in your body, all that is hard, but I would rather not age mentally where I lose it all. I would rather have, I don't know. I don't know how to really answer it. I would rather have a good mind,
Yeah,
than
a good body.
I mean, I already got the good body. I mean,
Of course.
Ask Janetta.
Don't get her started.
That's why I did it. It's gonna edge her on. But yeah, I definitely would rather have a strong mind.
Yeah, man.
That never really gets
You can't
old
be
or weak.
you can't be out here just simple minded with like just 6-pack and that's it.
I know a lot of people like that. No.
There she go. No, yeah, there's some people out here like that.
Yeah, I know she would definitely have a problem with that if I'm looking all great, but mentally
you can't have no intellectual conversation.
Exactly. And I know myself, I like to talk. I like to have conversations.
Right. Scooter, you be out here
want to have conversation to just look good.
You'll be out here talking about bubbles or
talk about Mike Tyson.
That cloud looked like a dinosaur.
Oh man!
But I got a 6-pack though. So.
Right. I can hurt you though.
Nah.
All right. Thank you all. You got any more to say about that, brother?
Nope.
Thank you all so much for engaging in our Would You Rather segment. Before we get into our topics, we just want to say thank you again for joining. Make sure you share the show. Make sure you go to our YouTube channel for anybody that just logged on. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you smash that notification bell. Hit all. Make sure that to ensure you that you get a notification in and every time that we post something. Also, if you will have any questions, comments, concerns, make sure that you email us at mannmetoo@gmail.com. Man with 3 N's. Even if you go to YouTube, it's man with 3 N's. But our email is mann, MANNN, me too, METO. I had to look at, did I just say 3 N's? Yeah. Man with 3 N's, me2@gmail.com. All right, brother, you ready?
Let's hit it.
All right, so guys, I'm going to kind of ask some questions, and I want you all to answer them as well. We want to talk about why, or the reasons why men sometimes have the failure to commit. And we have a couple different subtopics within that we can go into. But just commit overall right now. Carl, why do you think some men have a problem committing?
So when I first thought about this, the first thing came to my head was commitment is it's like hearing the word like budget or something that like basically sets restrictions on, hey, this is the line.
Okay.
You can go to here, don't cross it. That's what I feel like commitment, budget, all that stuff fits in like the same sort of category to me. So it's like, who wants to be restricted on what they can and can't do?
Ooh.
If you not mentally to that point to say I can restrict myself from doing things because I want to accomplish this goal, then you run from stuff, or you just keep living.
There's something there. We run from stuff.
You keep living how you want to live.
Okay.
That was my mindset on it.
Say that exactly one more time. I want to make sure I got that.
So like, it's like putting restrictions on yourself.
Restrictions.
So if you commit to something, you're saying, I'm gonna do this every day for the next. So if you, let's say, eating, right? I'm gonna eat. I'm not going. Normally, you say, I'm not going to eat this, and this, which that's cutting you off from doing probably what you want to eat. So when you get that craving, it's up to you to be like, okay, I'm I'm either fall into the craving or stick with my agreement to not do that.
Okay.
And most of the time, the craving is stronger than the commitment.
Now that is true. That is definitely true. I love you. That's good.
Cause you can,
Sometimes our craving is stronger than the commitment, and that is why it's
cause you
hard
can
to.
know,
Yeah, go ahead. That is
yeah,
true.
you can know like, hey, I've made this commitment to do this, but that that craving that's calling, it's in your face and it's real and it's like you just hey, okay, like, let me just do it this one time, and then that one time turns into another time and another time, and then your commitment or diet or marriage or whatever it is. It's,
I was just about to ask. So, does that definition fit into relationship, ladies? If you're listening, then you can learn something because we talking about things that stop us from committing or the failure to commit. So, does that
well, check this
translate to
out.
relationships and marriages as well?
That's a blanket statement right there. Men don't like limitations.
Yeah, I don't agree with that
Yeah, I don't know.
because it depends on who you are, how you were raised, what what was instilled in you, what you were taught, whether you like limitations or not. Um, I don't
Maybe
know.
she's talking
What do
about
you think?
man as in maybe she's talking about man as in mankind. Okay, let me give her the benefit of the doubt.
Oh, okay,
I'm gonna give her the
okay,
benefit of the doubt.
okay. If it comes from that standpoint, us as a human nature, we don't like limitations. But as far as being in a relationship,
She said no.
she said no. We throwing that out. We throwing that out. Erase. No. As far as being in a relationship or being married, what stops us or from wanting to commit to a woman as a men? Now, both of us are married men, so we can't necessarily say we have the failure to commit in a relationship because we have, and we've been married for 10 years. But there are some men that they want the relationship or they want the benefits of the relationship, but they don't necessarily want to commit to it. What do you think the things are that stop them from doing that?
From committing?
Yes, in a relationship.
Uh Shook's good. It's hard to speak. I don't really know. What would cause a guy to commit? Why would you get married if you don't want to commit? That's my first question. But what would cause you to not want to
I mean,
commit?
even before you get married, like some people want that commitment if we're dating and we're exclusive. They want that commitment. I mean, it's to me, it's different levels of commitment because you don't just date and then all of a sudden you're married. Like you date, then you realize, okay, you're the only one I'm dating. You're the only female I'm dating. That's a level of commitment. Like that's big in itself. Then after we've been together for a while, then I think about I see a future with you now. Then I think about, okay, one day I want to have kids with you. I want to build a life with you, maybe a business or some type of empire. Like those are different levels of commitment. Now I want to marry you and make you my. I want to leave my mother and father, like the Bible says, and I want to cleave to you. Like there are certain things that cause men to not want to do that.
Uh,
Would you say fear would be one of them?
yes, fear. Fear would definitely. I don't know, to make someone not want to commit though. Like I feel like that's more of a. Oh man, I feel like that's more of like like a mind state, like because if you weren't shown like a real good example on committing or commitment, chances are you've been influenced not to commit.
Well, I would have to say that depends on the person, because
True.
I always say there's two types of people in the world. There, you can teach a child the same two different children the same exact thing, and one of them may go on one way and one may go the other way, and one person will use something as ammunition to not be like that ever, like something that they see, and the other person may follow that pattern.
Yeah,
So
I agree
to
with
me,
that
it
too.
depends on the person.
I agree with that too. But I mean, so yeah, fear that like it won't work out the way you want it to work.
Yes.
But I don't think that stops you from being committed.
You
Cause
don't?
no, because you never really know what is gonna you don't know what it's gonna be anyway.
But that's another fear right there. The fear of the unknown.
So
Is this going to work or
so
the?
listen, you take your fear and turn it into sabotaging by not committing. So
This is what we do though.
like
And
you're
you
laying out
said
a
it earlier. We run from the things that we don't want to deal with, and that's what
but you're
I've seen a lot of us men do. We
but
sabotage ourselves. Go ahead.
if you're letting your fear that's all if you're letting your fear cause you to do things that are gonna bring about what you fear, then you're self sabotaging. So like if you're going into a relationship and you're saying, "Oh, I'm scared, man. I don't know what it's gonna be," so then you start stepping out. Isn't that causing what you're fearing to happen?
We do that as well. The very thing that we fear, we do things to make that happen, because that's what we anticipate. That's what we expect. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I've literally seen this in us. When I say us, I mean us as men, as the men culture. I've seen it happen so many times where it's like, man, I don't want this to happen, but all my actions show that I'm going in that angle, and it makes it happen.
So check this out. That's good. That's what I think. Arion, I think that's what it is.
What did he say?
Selfishness.
Okay, selfishness is something that, and I agree with that. That happens through experience in life. If say I'm a person that say I'm a person that my mother never really she was out with different men all the time, and I never got a chance to experience that. So when I get a woman, I may want to cling to her almost as if she's my mother, or what am I trying to say here? I'm trying to say that selfishness definitely is a part of it, but there are reasons why. That's what I'm trying to say. There are reasons that come about to make a person selfish. So a lot of times we look at things at the surface level, but we really have to dig into it to figure out, why is this person selfish?
So
Why
check this
is
out.
this person controlling? Why does this person not want to commit?
You see this? Gary said marriage shouldn't be constricting.
That's why I said that was interesting when you use that definition, because when we say constriction, our mind goes to what we can't have instead of what we do have. Even in Christianity.
But does that? But I think what you just said is looking at the neighbor's grass and thinking it's greener though. I don't think that's I don't think that's a.
But we do that in Christianity. For so long, we were taught what we couldn't do. You can't do this, can't do that, can't do this. So that's what we always focused on instead of looking at the liberty in Christ that we have. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. I think people do that in relationships. They look at, man, oh man, if I marry this woman, oh, I can't be with her no more. I can't go out and do this. Can't be with my single friends no more. But they're not looking at the liberties in the marriage that they're going to have. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so to me, it's all perspective. And we have to change our perspective of things in order to really reap the full benefits of things. Because if I go into a marriage with just all the simple stuff that I wanted to do, I'll never
using the word constricting already puts a negative
connotation
on it. So it's like, if you go into a marriage saying I can't do this, this, and that, you probably shouldn't walk down that road right now, because you already playing with fire. Because if you already thinking about what you can't do before it even happens, like, just don't do it. Like,
so if I'm a man and I'm feeling that way, what do I need to do to change that?
If you're feeling constricted?
If I'm a man and I'm looking to be in a committed relationship or marriage, but I have that mindset, like you just said, if you have that mindset, then don't do it because you're not really ready. What do I need to do to prepare myself or to reteach myself, or what techniques can I use in order for me to gain the right mindset to go into where I'm looking at the liberties versus the constrictions?
I was just going to say, you got to change your thoughts from what I can do, what I can't do, to what value is this going to add to me?
Yes, sir. I agree with that.
And now how that mindset happens, it's just like you said, Christianity. Like, we'll wake up every day and say, "Oh, my back hurt. Oh, this went wrong at work." But we ain't saying, "Oh, thank God that I woke up. Thank God that I got a job." Like, so it's you gotta stay thankful. You gotta stay, because once you walk out of that, then it's like you ungrateful for the stuff that you do have.
So that would take you from being selfish if you were more grateful for the things that you have. Because I don't necessarily look at marriage as being constricted to just one person. Like, I don't necessarily look at it as that. I see it more of a benefit that, and then it's all where you place your value.
Right.
Because if you place your value in being with multiple people,
having the most women,
then of course when you try to get with one person, you're not going to see as much value in there because your value is in all the other women.
Right.
But this is the stuff that we push in our culture. Oh, you got a black book, or man, how many girls have you had? Man, where me, I look at it as, I look at it almost as a collector's item versus an item that everybody can get to.
Right.
A collector's item, everybody can't afford it. Everybody does not have access to it, and a collector's item is more valuable than the item that's getting passed around.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know, most men see it that way, but I see it that way because I don't want nothing that everybody else had. I don't, and that's not even just from a sexual standpoint. That's from a mental standpoint too, because people get hurt in relationships. People, you know what I'm saying? All these, so I got to deal with all the hurts that she's dealt with. I got to deal with all the trauma she's dealt with. I got to deal with all the past things, including the stuff that I'm dealing with. I'd rather deal with that with just one person versus You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's all where you place your value. And so I feel like as a people and as a culture and as men, we have to change our where we place our value.
Yeah. Yeah, because we teach, like, even in society, like, the women get the bad rap for sleeping around, but dudes get,
They get applauded. High five.
yeah. So that could be the beginning of a commitment issue right there, because if everybody's applauding you being a player or whatever they want to call it, when it's time for you to commit, you probably thinking about what people gonna be thinking about you. Partly, like, oh, what they gonna say about me just being with one person, or so. Man, it's a lot of outside stuff too that plays into this. Like,
And let me say this: even if you are a woman that's on here and you're listening to what I've said and what we've said, even if you have been passed around or you've had multiple partners or you've been in multiple relationships, I don't devalue you.
right.
And God can change anybody. But for me, I place value in someone that placed value enough in themselves to be like, I'm saving this. This is not for everybody. This is, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so I don't want any woman that's on here to feel like they're not as valuable as someone else, because you definitely are. But we have to, going back to what I said earlier, we have to change our perspective. We have to change our mindsets. And then we just have to change where we place our value. But, because some people feel, especially growing up, that's the way to feel loved, or that's the way to feel connected to someone. So, they, or they may be insecure and someone come along and tell them, hey, girl, you beautiful. And he really has ulterior motive, and, you get started that way. But I just think that we need to refocus where what's valuable. Because that's part of the reason why we as men will not commit in relationships or marriages, because the value is in everything else. You've heard the term where married people want to be single and single people want to be married, because our values, we're looking at, like you said earlier, the grass being greener on the other side, because we're in something and you're going through something within that. And so you automatically look at the opposite side and say, man, if I was single, I could just get up and go when I want. If I was single, I'd be able to get with any woman I want. If I was single, I ain't got to worry about A, B, and Z. If I ain't have no kids, I don't have, you know what I'm saying? I can go do what I want. But you're not looking at, because you are married, you have somebody that's on your side. You got somebody who's praying for you. You know what I'm saying? You have somebody who you can vent to, you can be vulnerable with. I mean, hopefully, in your relationships or marriages, you have that. But I think we have to change our mindsets of what we don't have.
What?
And I'm speaking to myself at this point, what we don't have and to what we do have.
Right. Yeah. Because, I mean, I tell people all day, like, listen, marriage is probably the hardest thing I've ever done. But if 10 times out of 10, I will choose to be married than not married.
Right.
So, whatever the grass look like on the other side, that's probably astroturf, bro. Listen, okay? No, I'm not the type to be, oh well, I can't do this, but they can, and so it's really hard to really speak on, like, why, because I feel like I'm a real committed person. Like, I'm like an all or nothing. Like, it's like, if I'm gonna do this, I'm doing it. If I'm not, I'm not. So it's like, the concept of, like, oh well, this influenced me to do this because I wasn't feeling this, or I wasn't. The only thing I can't commit to, Scooter, is a diet, bro.
So we talked about fear. Are there any other things that stop us in relationships or marriages? Are there any other things that stop us? We talked about selfishness. Are there any other things that stop us from really committing in that way?
I don't know.
Do you feel like it has to? Well, I ain't gonna say it has to be, but would it benefit the person if they've seen that as an example?
What like good commitment?
Yes.
Like you said earlier, like a person gonna make their own decision. So, like they can see a perfectly committed relationship and be like, "Bro, that's corny." Or they
I
can.
agree, but that comes along going back to the whole where the value is. Also, because if your friends are talking about things on the other spectrum, that's where you're gonna feel. I mean, most people, especially growing up, you hold value in that type of stuff. So you can have parents who have great communication, great commitment, all of those things, but your friends talking about, man, this girl, that girl, this girl, that's where you're going to put the value in.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I do agree that you can benefit from seeing it placed before you, because that was the case for me. The reason why I am who I am today, because I've never seen my parents with anybody else. That's not to say nothing never happened or they never, I've only seen them two together. Wow. So that was something that was ingrained in me without them even really realizing or knowing that was instilled into me that, okay, I want to be with one person. I don't want to be out here with all these. I mean, I've dated several folks. But when it came to really committing and growing up and stepping up and being a man and saying, I want to actually see a marriage or a relationship that leads to marriage, I only wanted to do that with one person. And that part of I can attribute part of that to I only seen my mother and father with each other.
I had that story, but I still I don't know where my like, because I did that wasn't my story.
That wasn't your story, okay.
But that not being my story made it want to be my story.
That's exactly what we said earlier.
Yeah.
Like, we could have grown up in the same house and experienced the same things, but I could have been like, hey, my actual real brother, we grew up in the same house, experiencing the same thing, but we did two different things. And I will say church played a big part in that as well, because I was growing up in church, so I was getting taught about, abstinence and, saving myself for marriage. And, I was being taught those things. So that definitely played a part in there as well. But I do have enough wisdom to know that people can be taught those things and still not do it,
So what you think about this? Some people can act real good till they get married.
That's because they look at it as a restriction.
Mm-hmm. And I think we all, well, I ain't gonna say we all, but I know I dealt with that in the beginning, because it was like when you go from being single, when you go from being single to just moving how you want to move, and now you married and you gotta check in, and you looking at it as like, oh, I gotta tell her what I'm doing, but
and I'm glad you chose from that standpoint.
You chose this person. Like, she didn't choose to just jump in your life. You made that agreement to be with her. So be with her always. Like,
yes, sir.
And what are you doing in your life that you can't tell your wife that you about to do?
I'm glad you said that, because oftentimes we look at committing from a sexual standpoint. But that's committing all the way around. And when you say you dealt with that at the beginning of your marriage, I did too.
Yeah, because I used to be like, you ain't my mama.
I was so used to being single. Hey, I still say that. Help me. But I was so used to being single and moving how I wanted to move. And if it was something that I didn't want to deal with, I could play. I'm a man. I can place it in the back of my mind. I think about it. I can clean up when I wanted to. I can pick up when you know what I'm saying? I was so used to that to when I got married. And now all of a sudden I got to share this with somebody. I got to actually tell them, you know, it just was not that easy to commit to in that way. And so it came to paying bills. I would lie about it. You know, she would be like, did you pay this? Yeah, I paid it, but I really hadn't paid it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm used to moving how I want to. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And so that was something that I had to learn how to really commit to, but there were reasons why. And so that to me, that's the whole point of the show, to not only to acknowledge that we have issues, but to figure out what is the core reasonings why we have these issues. And so now I realize that I have a safe place within her where I can be truthful, I can be honest. You know, I mean, she knows how much I get paid. She knows what my checks are. You know what I'm saying? She knows all of this information. If I go to the doctor, she knows information about that. You know, she knows that because I can.
You asked her to be in your life. Why would you exclude her from part of it?
Exactly. That's good. Because we do it. We do it as men.
We separate. Okay, this what you get from me. This one I'm gonna keep to myself. But you asked this woman to marry you.
But sometimes I don't think men always know, or people, period, women as well, always know what that all comes with until you get into it.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think you can ever be prepared for marriage completely. Until you in it.
Because I can tell you about marriage all day long. And one thing that I do understand about marriage and just relationships, period, that every relationship is different. Mm-hmm. And so I can tell you about what I experienced. That does not mean you're going to experience that in yours. Now, there are some things that we all know that everybody's going to experience. There's problems because you take in two different people, two different upbringings, two different mindsets, and you trying to make them one. There's some working out that you have to do within that. So you're going to have problems. But specific things, you may not deal with cheating, but you may, deal with lying. You may deal with, secrets. It's just different things that I guess we are designed to go through in our relationships or our marriages that we go through that is not always the same in every case. And so I can tell you all day long how to ride a bike. I can show you the bike, show you everything, how it works. But until you get on that bike yourself and you learn how you fall a couple times, and then you finally learn how to catch your balance on it, and then you learn how to stop, like, until you do that on your own. And that's how I look at it when it comes to marriage. Like, you'll never just be extremely, just absolutely ready for it, but you have to be willing to learn.
Right. And adjust.
And that goes back to that selfishness. There are things that you have to learn to give up once you get married, because I had to learn this. I had to learn it. Everything that I did and everything that she did not only affected our own selves, but it affects each other. So everything that I do not only affects me, but it affects her as well.
You're a unit now.
Yeah. And so I can't move the way I just want to move, because I have a whole another person that's a part of that unit. Yeah. Yep. And so that's something that we have to work on as men, so that we can be committed to things, especially relationships, because a lot of us run when it get hard. A lot of us, find ways to sabotage it when we feel like, oh man.
Now that you're saying all of this, it's making me go back to that comment your wife made earlier about men don't like restrictions. And she might have been right. Because when your wife tell you something and you be like,
you have in your mind that you the man, and you gonna do what you want to do.
But you, like, a couple days later, you sit there and think on it and be like, you know what, that probably is how I should move. But it's like, don't tell me what to do. Just let me do it.
So do you think some of us have mommy issues?
No, I think we got pride issues.
Okay.
I don't know what a mommy issue is. What's that? Explain.
I don't know. That can mean a couple different things, because it can mean like your mother wasn't there to show you certain things. Because a lot of stuff that I seen growing up, I learned from my father dealing with my mother. And so sometimes you can have mommy issues, just the same way women can have daddy issues when he wasn't there and he didn't show you the proper way to do things. You can have issues with committing as well in that same way. And that's why I said, can some men have that as an issue? But I definitely agree that pride is definitely, but that pride comes from somewhere. So we say these things, but there's a reason for it.
Man, I think men are groomed to be
you own to something. You own to something.
Because they tell you like suck it up. Like that's pride. Like to not cry over something that hurts. Like to not share your feelings. Like that's dealing with pride, bro.
That leads to why men will not commit to being to their feelings.
Yeah.
Because after you groom somebody in something for so long, you can't just expect them to switch it on and then just all of a sudden he's in touch with his emotional side. Like, that's just not how it works.
But we don't even know that we're grooming men to be prideful, because we're saying, hey, don't say that because that's soft, or don't do this because that's what girls do, or don't, like, that's all pride, bro. We all humans. We should all have the same feelings. Not saying like we should just be out here just straight soft, but like.
But that's a part of it. And okay, so the next one was what is causing us to the failure to commit when it comes to being a father or being, But the reason I brought that up was because the other day I was at work and we was having a conversation on why, people have the failure to commit. And my coworker said, and it made me cringe a little bit, but after I thought about it, I was like, that may be some truth to that. He said that we tell our sons they can't play with dolls, they can't play with babies. And it's like, because I kind of cringed, because I was like, yeah, you don't want them to be soft, but at the same time, then they get older and you expect them to love their kids.
Just be nurturing.
You expect them to be nourishing, to their kids and show compassion when they never learned that growing up. It made me cringe a little bit because I was like, I'm kind of thinking like, no, I ain't letting my kid play with no dolls and that. But it's like that's first of all their learning stages.
Well, I don't think a boy has to play with a doll.
No, I don't think that he has to play with one. But what I'm saying is we miss out on the compassion and the nurturing component because we're so forcing them. You got to be strong. Suck it up. Boys don't do that. Well, boys turn into men that don't do that.
Right. We can still implement them expressing their feelings and their emotions.
I agree. So there's a way that we should enforce that. You know what I'm saying? It don't have to be all, girly in a sense. But
go outside and roll in the dirt. Or
but you can show your kid, hey, men take care of they children as well. Men love their children as well. Why is it looked at as a bad thing if a man kiss his child? Kiss his son? Like, why? That's part of love.
That is.
If he hug his son, like, why is that in our culture looked at as a bad thing? But then when they get older, they get married or get in a relationship, and then now the woman has to deal with the fact that he will not commit to her emotionally or won't even share his feelings because it's been instilled in him so long not to do that. Right. That's girly. They don't show that.
My little nephew kissed me the other day. It threw me off. I was like, hold up, nephew. Like, But
that's our natural reaction because that's what's been
He's just a
ingrained.
little dude showing love. That's it. It ain't got nothing to do with.
And the thing is, he don't know no different.
It ain't nothing you know more than
He
that.
don't know nothing about that yet.
Right.
Now but you can stop him and and say you don't kiss other boys. You know what I'm saying? Like you can teach him that way, but a lot of times we just shun the child and not really explain to them why certain things are in place.
Like we completely break it down. Like we completely break off that part of boys. Like, man, don't kiss me. Like, and you destroy that part of a man. Like early. Like, man, you don't do that type of stuff. Like, and then from that point on, they like that's not even a thing that they even do anymore, period, with anybody. Even once you get older, with your girlfriend or your wife. Like
exactly. And you know what really has been making me think about that? We always talk about Kevin on stage. His wife made a comment on their channel that they have together, and they do. It's called Love Hour, and she talked about how she grew up in the church, and how they always talked about abstinence and not having sex before you marry, and she actually did that, but when she got married, it didn't happen like that. To the point where it just switched, and then all of a sudden she's ready to give her body away. Like we have to be careful of how we groom people and the information that we're teaching them, because often in the church, sex was always a stigma, and they just told you don't do it. They didn't teach us how to deal with those feelings when they arise. They didn't teach us what our bodies, and they probably didn't teach us because they didn't know. You know what I'm saying? But we have to be. I said all that to say we have to be careful of what we're pushing into people, and then especially when it's stuff like that, when we're expecting them when they get older, just snap into it and just know how to do it.
Right.
If a child or if a person never sees someone being compassionate or showing, or even being empathetic or any of those things, they're not going to just naturally learn those things.
Right.
That's stuff that has to be taught. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So man, with that, why do you feel there is a failure to commit with fathers? It's all around the
world. Number one, I think this is probably the fear is the biggest thing in this one. Because if that woman ain't your wife, then that's scary. Having a baby mama is, at least to me, is scary. And kids are a lot. Like you have to raise a kid. It takes a lot of you to do it like halfway decent. So do you want to give all of that, or would you just rather run from it?
And the question is, do you even have it to give? Yeah. Do you have? I mean, because we're expecting men to just step up and be men. Be a man. You got these kids. I mean, and I do agree. And I feel like anytime you take on the responsibility of laying down with somebody, you have to assume the responsibility that comes along with that. And I feel like that's part of it that's missing. Everybody want to have the fun in the bedroom, but when a pregnancy comes from it, we run from it.
Right.
As men, they run from it.
And society gives us the luxury of, I hate to use the word luxury, but it gives us the, for lack of a better term, luxury to run from it, because it's portrayed that the father's not in the home in like a lot of instances. Like, so we're being fed this through TV, movies, all of this. So it's almost like, man, it's not even looked at as bad as it should be looked at for you to have a baby and just disappear. Like I feel like that should be like you should call that guy a loser if he has a kid and just burns out. Like, but I don't feel like men who do that get like as bad a rap as they should get.
Mm. Interesting perspective.
Like we
But
look
I
at
guess
guys,
I can agree with that.
we look at guys who stick around and like stay with their wife and their kids as corny. Like, oh,
That okay, I get exactly what you mean by that. That is very
that's
true.
that's cool guy. Like the guy who lays down with a woman, have a baby, and burn out. He corny. Like he's the corny dude.
So that goes back to what I was saying earlier. We gotta learn. We gotta figure out a way to change where we place our value, because that's like you said. The cool guy is the guy that ain't there. Right. He's out doing everything else.
He got 8
we
baby
gotta
mamas.
make it to the point where. But that's honestly, that's gonna take us as men. But that's gonna take these women, the women that are out there, to really push the fathers in a good way and promote them in a good way as well, in a good light. Because a lot of times all we hear is the bashing of I gotta be I'm my son's father, like, you know. And so I don't know, I just feel like we have to figure out a way to change where their value is, because honestly they are looked at as the cool guys, the cool people. Like they dope, and it's like, no, they're really not. Because
and then they go out and get jobs where it's like you ain't really got to report nothing, so you ain't even got to do. The government can't even track you.
And that does lead. That I was just going to talk about the whole financial part. When you said fear, it made me think of the financial part of it. A lot of men don't want to commit to that financial situation. For whatever reasons, they don't want to commit to it. And like you said, they'll go get jobs where they don't necessarily have to report, because they don't want some other. Because honestly, the child support, that's I done seen some men where like it's a gut punch, and so it is hard when you.
Is it really a gut punch,
sir? I done seen some. One of my old coworkers showed me his paycheck stub. And when they got done taking child support out, he had literally like $200 left.
But let me just say this.
And I was like, you supposed to live off this?
If you were responsible and didn't put yourself in this situation, this wouldn't be happening to you.
I agree. But we make mistakes. So
now your check got to see the mistake. Like they say it's cheaper to keep her. Okay, ride that thing out. I'm just but in reality, I give my whole check to my family, right? Mm-hmm. Not saying that I don't benefit anything from it, but like, you giving a portion of your check and then getting to just live however, whatever, with the rest. That's your fault though. Like you did this to yourself.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you know that this stuff works in their favor if you ain't got your stuff together.
That's what I mean. But see, that's why I feel like we got to think about those things beforehand. Those few minutes of pleasure is not worth the long-term effect of, you can't support yourself no more because it's no longer about you.
Now right.
It's not about you anymore. It's about that child.
So to say it's unfair or unreasonable is to be like, well, I shot myself and I died.
Okay.
You did it.
And you knew what the consequences of that could be.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah.
And then, some men, they'll pay their child support, but they won't deal with the child. And a lot of them feel like that's their contribution to it. And to me, I don't agree with that because I understand that children need you present.
Yeah.
You know, but some men, honestly, they'll pay their child support. And they feel like, well, I did my part. I did what I was supposed to do. I provided for you.
Scooter, I have nothing to add to this, nor I'm just going to say yes to that. I'll tell you later.
Okay.
But yes, there are men who think that way. You get mad at the baby mama because they want you to take care of your responsibility, so then you don't deal with the child.
Yeah, that
makes a lot of sense.
I don't understand it, and I don't understand it at all. I honestly don't think I would ever understand it, even when I have children, because I understand and I know how important it is. Let me say it this way: kids don't spell love money. They don't spell it like money. They spell it time, and you have to spend time with them. Now, don't get me wrong; the money definitely does play a part in that. Because they need to live, they need to eat, they need to have clothes, but kids get older and become adults. They don't think back, oh yeah, my daddy, he spent all this money, or he spent this, or he paid my child support. That ain't what they're gonna be thinking about. They're gonna be thinking about those little moments that don't even cost you nothing. And I remember my daddy played, when I took me outside, we would go outside and throw the ball and play football, Or my daddy sat down with me and we played cards. Or, you know what I'm saying? Or my daddy taught me how to ride my bike. That's the stuff that you remember when you grow up.
Oh, and that's a good one
all of those. What does it say?
What about the men who have been married and had to divorce from the mother of his child and was a good father that took care of his kids and still get put on child support? Woo! Not all men on child support not responsible.
I'm gonna let you handle that one.
That's what you call an unfortunate situation.
But it's unfortunate, but it happens a lot. And unfortunately, there are some really good men out here who are really trying to be in their children's life or really trying to take care of their children that the mothers just will not do right. And I mean, I've seen it on so many levels, especially when the father has a new girlfriend or a new wife, and that child goes over there, and that mother sees that as, oh, they have a whole family over there. They'll do things to stop that child from being able to see the father. Or they'll always bring some type of confrontation or confliction to stop. It is very unfortunate.
That's always exceptions to the rule. Okay, yeah. If you out here being an exceptional father and you just happen, like y'all just happen to not work, that's tough. That's real tough.
Yeah, that is tough.
But that's not the guy we really speaking on. That's a stand-up guy who just fell into a hard place, man.
But I mean, but we also have to address that though at the same time because it's a part of a lot of people's lives.
I think that if you have things in order, you have a better chance of, I don't want to say fight the system, but getting a better result from the system than you just ignoring it altogether. Because most guys, when they let's say if they had to go to a child support hearing, they don't even show up. So then the court just hit them with the max penalty, and now they paying out the wazoo. But if you were a stand-up father, I don't feel like the system is in place to just demolish you because you didn't make it with a woman.
So yeah, I agree. I definitely will have to agree. But then it goes back to what I was saying earlier. Can you really expect someone to do that when they've never been shown that. That's why I say you have to, if you're going to do the laying down, you got to assume the response. And every time you lay down with a woman, you should assume there's a baby coming. And I have to take care of it. And I mean, and maybe that will stop you from messing around with me, or maybe push you to actually commit to one woman. Or however many women you choose to commit to. It will push you to actually commit because you're assuming the responsibility. Every time I lay down, there's a possibility that I can end up with a child. And do I really want to go? I said all the time, if in a perfect world, if we really thought about the consequences to our actions before we did them, most likely we wouldn't do it. But I mean,
because every time
we don't.
Every time you
it's not a perfect world.
Every time you got ready to sleep with somebody, if you thought a baby was coming, in your head, you see this person. Do I want to have a child with this person? Probably not.
But the normal reaction is we are men. We have desires, so we have to train ourselves in those moments where we feel like, oh, I just need to get mine. That we have to have more self-control and develop some type of way so we don't end up in situations like this where you are, you know what I'm saying? But like you said, there are men who were married. It didn't work out. They got divorced. And,
that's what happens
very
when
unfortunate.
That's what happens when you sign
who tried to do it the right way. Or I ain't going to say the right way because somebody may not consider being married the right way. But do it that way or what they consider to be the right way. And it still didn't work. You said what?
I say it's the right way. But
I agree, but
that's what
we may have look. We may have thousands and millions of people watching that may not consider marriage to be the right way. So that's why I say
it's still the right way. But that's what happens when you sign a contract.
We talking about restrictions again.
When you sign a contract, it comes with stipulations. If this doesn't work out, this woman could be potentially entitled to have.
So look at it this way. Every time you lay down with a woman, you're signing a contract.
Yes.
That'll slow the population down.
You're signing a contract with the P and the V.
Oh, man. Yes, marriage is the right way for anybody that I was just saying that to, like some people don't necessarily believe in marriage and all that. And I respect that. That's your opinion. But marriage is definitely the right way.
But listen, when you make that contractual agreement with them, just know there's a potential you might have to give up something.
I mean, and when you look at it that way, it is very true because even when you get married, it's a contractual agreement.
Yeah.
And if it does not work, there's consequences to that.
Nobody says if it doesn't work, this contract is null and void. No,
right.
That's when it kicks in.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's when you see the business side of marriage when it doesn't work. That's when it goes. That's when it goes from love to a business.
So, do you think love is enough in a marriage?
No, not at all. Because just like I'm a human, she's a human. We have feelings. You might say something that makes me not feel you at the moment. So my love may be lower at the time. So what? Do I just run because my love dips?
I agree.
Everybody bump heads at some point.
One thing that I never understood about I understand it because it's the perception that we put out as far as marriages that everything is great, gonna be great. Every TV show that you see, besides the one where they fighting or whatever, even on social media, we present marriage to be this beautiful thing, and it is. It is beautiful. And like you said earlier, I would rather still be married, but we don't show them the other side of it. And every other relationship in our lives, you fall out with them, whether it be your mother, your daddy, your brothers. Y'all fight. Y'all have your sister. You have issues with those people. Y'all take a few minutes, sometimes a day or two, and y'all talk it out. Y'all work it out. Why is it when it comes to marriage, people expect everything to be peachy, and then when it's not, they gone?
We are, because fairy tales tell you.
Yes, sir.
Once
you
who was that who lost the slipper? Cinderella.
Yep.
I don't know. I can't even remember. But
yeah, it was Cinderella.
He bring the slipper back and put it on the foot, and they lived happily ever after. The prince kissed Snow White. She woke up, and they lived happily, happily ever after.
Fairy tale.
What they fail to tell you is, in that happily ever after, Snow White woke up one morning and said, "Hey man, you put the toilet tissue on the roll backwards."
Right.
And then they got a whole fight over that. So it might be happily ever after, but you're gonna have some hiccups in there. That don't mean you can't be happily ever after. You just got to be prepared for when these two humans decide, hey, I'm gonna use my own brain, and you use your own brain, and they don't agree.
Ooh, Jesus, that's easy said and done, but I agree with you.
It's hard to show that. That's why I said if you're not married, it's hard to prepare for it.
That is very true. It's hard to prepare for it completely because you're only getting one side of it.
Yeah. Now, if people started putting cameras in their house and streaming 24/7, then you'll get a more realistic view of what marriage is. But nobody's doing that. I'm not. My marriage is far from perfect, but it's great for us.
Ooh, that's good. You got to find out what's great for you.
Right. Because everybody has
and that great for you may not be not good to somebody else or perfect to somebody else.
Everybody has in the marriage you should do this. In the marriage, a man should take care of the, like what Kev was saying, a man should pay the bills. If he don't pay the bills, then he ain't a man. Bro, I used to run the finances, and it was a headache. So now my wife do it. Does that make me less of a man? Because I don't want to stress myself out because I know I'm going to stress myself out? No, my household is still running properly. So what works for you is what you need to figure out. So
yes, sir. So the last one of the night is, why do we have the failure to commit to work, jobs, or careers?
Now, Scooter, I can't speak on that, bro, because I always had a job. Who do you know somebody who can't commit to work? I don't. Oh, Scooter, what?
All right, I'm back.
I'm just trying to think about who failure to commit to work.
Some men don't want to work. They get a job, they quit a job. They come up with an excuse to why they had to quit that job. They jump from job to job.
Do you think they don't want to work? Do you think they don't want to work though, or they?
Go ahead, I'm listening.
Do you think they don't want to work, or they just haven't found like something that's, I don't know, because I don't really know many people who just like, man, I don't want to work, period. Maybe they don't like what they do, but I do know there are guys out here that don't work. But I feel like
Bro,
that's a I feel
keep
like
talking,
that's
bro. I'll be
a
right back.
okay. I feel like the guys that don't work are being supported by somebody somehow. So it's really hard to speak on, right, Gary. I don't know anybody who says that they just don't want to work. That's hard. Like uh that's hard to speak on why guys don't want to commit to a job or work, or because even if you don't, like, some people say I don't want to work for the man, you could you could start a hustle yourself. It don't have to be a like a job per se where you got to go clock in and clock out. You can start your own job.
But even within that, I feel like people feel that, you know how they say, even in if through this pandemic, if you haven't found to be like an entrepreneur or something, then something's wrong. Like, I don't feel like everybody is built to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, no.
Some of us are designed to work 9 to 5. Some of us are designed in those seasons of our life to learn and to walk up under someone to learn. Because if everybody just steps out and be an entrepreneur, they may not be in the right season for that.
But I'm just saying, like, okay, you can't have it both ways though. So, like, if you don't want to be an entrepreneur,
you gotta go to work.
You got to get a job. And if you don't like to, and if you don't like to work for somebody, figure out a way to work for yourself.
Yeah. But the reason I say that, because it's almost in a sense easier to work for someone else than it is to work for yourself. Because, and let me explain. If I work for someone else, if I want to take off, I can probably take off and still get paid because I have time. But if I'm building a company, if I don't show up, I don't get paid. You got to almost work a little harder until you build your company to where you have people working for it. You know what I'm saying? So,
right. No, I agree.
So it's okay if that's what you're going to do, but know that you're going to have to work a little harder, especially to get it off the ground. And so that's why I say everybody's not ready for that or in the season for that just yet. Because, and that's not to tell you that you can't do it, because I believe you can do anything you put your mind to. But know that there's preparation that has to come into that. And in order to be, and I believe this in my heart, in order to be a good leader, you have to be a good follower first. And I feel like some people are not good followers, so they don't even know how to lead because they're not good followers. They've never had to answer to anyone. How can you expect someone to answer to you and you've never had to answer to anyone?
Yeah. If you don't respect any type of authority, it's really hard for you to.
If you never had to get up and actually go somewhere and clock in, how can you expect for other people to do that to you and be on time and have integrity when you don't even understand or have the to understand how important that is, because you haven't done it.
I'm just saying, it's gotta be one or the other, okay?
I agree with you.
I'm not telling you gotta build your own company, but if that's not what you're doing or what you're capable of doing,
but even within that, why are some of us afraid to step out and be an entrepreneur?
Oh, because it's scary and a lot of work. Because, okay, so it's one thing to go clock in and get a guaranteed check. right?
Right.
So when running a business, a check only comes based on how much work you put in. So let's just be honest. You can go to work and coast. That's not going to change
Your check.
unless unless you're like a sales rep or something that gets paid on like some
Like
sort of
commission.
commission.
Yeah.
But if you got like a salary, you can go to a job every day and coast. Your check will be the same.
Right.
You run a business, you coast, you gonna crash.
You're absolutely correct, my brother.
So I could tell you firsthand why people don't want to commit to being an entrepreneur. It's a lot of work, more work than you probably will ever realize until you get into it. And if you ain't working, you ain't getting paid.
This has been a great conversation. I really, really thoroughly enjoyed this. Because all of this stuff is a lot of the things that a lot of us deal with. And
Yeah.
realizing these things could help some of us, help a lot of us to figure or to pinpoint, okay, I'm having issues in this area, and this is why I'm not willing to commit. So to be able to pinpoint it, it gives you a little deeper insight on how to fix it or what areas to focus on, so you can start to commit in whatever area that is for you. So hopefully
Let me say this.
Go
Let
ahead.
me say this. Man, this show, I mean, not just the show, but us like discussing these things, it's like a accountability slap in the face. I don't even want to call it a partner because I don't even know if I like the partner sometimes. But like it makes you stay accountable to like stuff that you probably, well, I'm speaking for me, that I ducked and dodged and for years, and it's like, hey, it probably need to get that up off you in order to, walk a little
Guess what,
lighter.
bro?
So
Man, me too.
that was a perfect. I didn't even try to set you up for that.
But you know what? That's what this show is geared towards, to make you think, to make you realize, not always point the blame or make an excuse, but to realize ouch, hurt it, but it's reality. Make you think and say, you know what? I got to
And you got to
start.
deal
Maybe
with
I need to try this way. Maybe I need to do this. And realize that you're not alone. That same thing that you feel, the same thing that you're going through, is another brother. I'm guaranteed tell you that there's another brother out here who's probably going through some of that same stuff. And so, to me, that's why I enjoy doing this show, because I already have a heart to help people. But it's not even me just helping people like I know all the information, I know all, we're helping each other, because it's stuff that you say that I don't think about. And I'll be like, man, that's a good perspective. Right. That's a good point. And, and other people put stuff in the comments, I learned from it. And like you said, it's a whole lot of accountability piece that holds all of us accountable. So I'm with you, my brother. And I say every time we come on, anybody can tear somebody down. But we trying to build each other up. We trying to build more men up to realize, hey, I have some failure to commit in some areas, and I need to do whatever it takes to. That's not a failure to commit, but I have committed.
Yeah.
So in recap, guys, don't look at it as just a contractual thing. Whatever you are trying to commit to, don't look at it from the grass being green on the other side. Don't just look at
restrictions.
Yeah, don't just look at it as the restrictions, but place the value in the right place. You have to revalue. You know how in the store something has been valued something for so long, and they have to either reduce the price because it's been sitting there too long. Maybe you've had some thoughts, some things that's been in your life that's been sitting there for years. You need to reduce that price and put it on something. You need to put it on a new value, on a new price, on a new item, in your life so you can value it, so you don't look at it like, oh man, I can't go out with my friends. Oh, I can't do this. I can't do because I'm in a relationship. Or I got my kids, so I can't do. Oh, I regret this. But you know what I'm saying? Looking at it from the other perspective.
My brother out here preaching. Hallelujah.
Hey, this is helping me. I really enjoyed this tonight. I think this is our longest running show. We just talked, and what people don't understand is, man, you can do this for hours.
We gotta let the people go.
We gotta let them go. Thank you all again so much for tuning in tonight. This has been a great conversation. Again, share this. Even though we're about to go off, put it in replay and share it with somebody. If they're not on Facebook, send them the YouTube link. Share it with them. They can listen to it that way. Again, if you have any questions, comments, or any concerns, send it to Mannn with 3 N's, metoo@gmail.com.
Man, me too.
Also, go to our YouTube channel, smash that like button, hit subscribe, hit the all notification bell so you can get any and all content that we put up. But let somebody know about this failure to commit. We wanna change that from failure to commit to commit.
That's right.
Again, I'm Scooter Lamont, and this is my wonderful brother,
Carl. That's it.
the mastermind, the business owner, the great man, great father, great husband.
I receive it all. I ain't saying that either.
So hopefully you all had a good time tonight. I had a good time tonight. Good job, brother. This was awesome. And I'm excited to have more conversations. We almost made it 2 hours, bro.
We gotta let the people go, Scooter.
We gotta let y'all go. Thank you all for the comments in the comment section as well. We really appreciate it. We appreciate the support. We appreciate the push, and we're gonna keep on with this thing. You know, we may look up and one day this may be a whole conference. We have our own manpower. You know. Where Carl's the pastor and he's going to preach.
Hold up, man.
No, but seriously, you never know what this can turn into. So
that's right.
You all just keep us in your prayers. And we love you all.
Catch y'all next time.
Peace.
Peace.